Fallout London was released over a year ago, and I'm sure many of you tried it and found it a little buggy and prone to crashing. In fact, maybe so much so that you decided you just couldn't play the game and you put it aside. And perhaps you're wondering now, over a year later after multiple updates and the release of a new DLC, is it time to go back and try this mod out again? And the simple answer is yes. Very probably. The new DLC came out right as I was finishing my first playthrough, and so I got to start again after I finished that first one and play for about 40 hours with the new patch and the new DLC. And what I will tell you straight away is it is so much more stable. In fact, not only did I notice a lot less bugs or little glitches, the game did not crash a single time in almost 40 hours. Not one single time. And to be honest, I'm not sure I could say that about vanilla Fallout 4. That's pretty damn stable. So it definitely feels like they've made enough progress where if you want to jump back in and try this mod, you want to try Fallout in London, now is the time to do so. It still requires you use a version of Fallout 4 that came out before the next gen update, which was over a year ago. So you will have to downgrade Fallout 4 if you've updated it in the last year and a half. That is not that difficult. I have a video explaining how to do that, and there are even some mods that will make it a lot easier. It'll take a little time. Don't worry, it's not that difficult, and it is well worth doing for this mod. Installing the mod is pretty easy. Again, I've got videos covering this. It takes a little while, but it's not actually difficult. And I have to say, Fallout London is an absolutely brilliant Fallout experience. I actually prefer it to the base Fallout 4 game, and it's not even a contest in my opinion. I feel like Fallout London is more true to the older Fallout games. The dialogue system especially, it's obviously a silent protagonist. The dialogue system is more like their older games. And honestly, I liked the dialogue choices. There are tons of skill checks, stat checks, that sort of thing. Really felt more like Fallout New Vegas in that regard. And all round, I just found it a very enjoyable experience. Now, there are some telltale signs of this being a mod rather than a AAA title. Sometimes it can be a little rough around the edges. You might find a little bit of terrain that looks a little unfinished or has a gap in it, although that is true in the base Fallout 4 game as well. But you might find some quests that feel a little off, the sort of thing you usually expect, and occasionally, just occasionally, you'll think to yourself, oh right, yes, yeah, I'm playing a mod. But for about 98% of the time playing this mod, you will feel like you are playing a full-priced game. You will feel like Fallout London is its own thing, and you will sort of forget the fact that it is actually a free mod. It's that good. It's noticeably tougher than the base Fallout 4 game, especially at the start. It feels like a more traditional Fallout experience where you start off pretty weak, you start off looking for weapons and ammo and constantly having to sort of juggle the need to shoot something and the desire to not use your valuable ammo. In the base Fallout 4 game, of course, you start off, you immediately get a player home given to you with all of the crafting stations. You get the power armor, a minigun, and so much gear that very quickly you can get a feeling of power. And it really does feel, I'm going to say, sort of easy, even on the tougher difficulties. Fallout London, however, it was a lot tougher at the start, again because it felt more of a survival experience, but also because of the sort of enemies you're facing. There are way more melee enemies in this game, enemies that don't have ammo themselves, so they're rushing you and beating you with swords, bats, and even tennis rackets. There are loads of things like dogs, moles, creatures, all sorts of, things that will swarm you. And it can be a little challenging. In fact, I found myself building my character slightly differently than I would in Fallout 4. I was way more focused on must-have perks rather than the sort of nice-to-have quality of life perks that I tend to focus on, even when playing on very hard in the normal Fallout 4 game. So just bear that in mind. You might want to not play on very hard if you don't want a frustrating experience. If you want to just kill things and experience the story, perhaps just play. Other than that, my advice is just have fun, wander around, go where the game takes you, and just experience this absolutely superb mod. There are, from the looks of things, 3 different endings, 3 different groups you can join. I've only done one of them at the moment, so it is replayable. There's a whole heap of side quests, lots of different areas, tons of characters, loads of followers with their own little personal quests. The sort of thing you would expect in a Fallout game. The only real difference between Fallout London and the other Fallout games is the fact that it has a British aesthetic rather than an American one. Other than that, it really hits the Fallout vibe, and as I said, in many ways feels more like a traditional Fallout game than Fallout 4 did. No, I'm not attacking Fallout 4. I enjoyed Fallout 4. I did. I liked Fallout 4, but I love Fallout London. So, if you've not played it, you're a big Fallout fan, but the reason you've been putting it off is, well, it was just a little unstable and I just found myself getting frustrated because it crashed constantly. Try it again. Try it again. They really have made it very stable now. And like I said, 40 hours, no crashes. Not a single one. That's pretty impressive. Just give it a go. See if it works for you.